Hi, I'm Grace Gadanek, and I am at the Arts Warehouse in our front gallery space, and I wanted to take this opportunity to share with you a little bit about how this exhibition came together. So you'll see behind me, we have 6 ceramic artists. So the title of the exhibition is Nature Reformed, and that came about when we were looking at the material of ceramics as something natural. It is from the earth, and a lot of the elements that create the ceramics, hardening it in a kiln. We have stone firing, electric kilns, but those are all natural forces that are affecting this medium. In addition to that, a lot of the artists selected in this exhibition, their work is reflecting on nature, whether literally showing leaves, natural shapes like barnacles and shells and coral, or touching on natural forces that can shape the earth, like wind and water and erosion that we see in some of the other pieces. So it's kind of a dual meaning there with nature and natural, and we're really excited how it all came together. In this area of the gallery here, we have Jeff Wyman. He is actually local to Delray Beach. His studio is just across the street, so we're really happy to support someone that's so close by. And what's interesting about his work is they're really varied. You can see from light to dark, and that has to do with the materials. Some is black stoneware, regular stoneware, porcelain. And what's also interesting is the way he fires his work really has a lot to do with the resultant color and texture. As you can see in this one, the dark areas are actually from where the flames might have directly hit the ceramic, which is really interesting. He also likes to put materials like little porcelain pieces, glass, shells into his firing, so those also can create a different texture. And speaking on vessels, he does actually include individual vessels in his larger pieces, which you can see when you look close enough, you might find a mug or a vase, but obviously they've taken a little bit different shape. Yvonne Albrecht's work is the most traditional in the sense of those ceramic vessel shapes that we're used to seeing in our everyday life. The plates, the jars, and what's interesting about his process is he does use traditional methods in some of the works as well, like kintsugi, which is the act of breaking the vessel and repairing it by putting gold in between those cracked pieces. You'll notice in his work also that he has laid some really intricate designs with what looks like dots, but when you get up close, it's actually flies. So that does tie it back into the nature element, touching on that life process, natural decay, on something that is really pristine and beautiful. What's unique about Gerbi Sesarkaya's process is the technique that she has developed in order to mimic natural forces such as winds, strong bodies of water that might create erosions or cracks. She also is really particular about her color palette that she uses, which was inspired by where she used to live overseas, the curve of bridges, and other elements that she's seen in nature also. And what's interesting about her technique as well is she does fire things multiple times in order to get those effects that she's looking for. So it can be fired in a gas kiln, or a soda firing, or a combination of both. Lauren Shapiro's ceramic pieces in this exhibition are a great example of the different ways we're talking about nature or the natural. She mixes natural forms like leaves, as you can see in this piece, and also geometric forms, which is hinting at those molecular levels of nature around us. Her mix of geometric shapes and natural forms in her pieces really hint on the hidden geometries in nature. And while they are geometric and perhaps unnatural at first glance, I still think they feel really organic. Beatrice Shashamovitz is a marine researcher as well as an artist, which you can really see reflected in these pieces here in Nature Reformed. She creates sculptures, drawings, and installations that discuss the state of coral reefs as they're found today, specifically coral bleaching, which you can see reflected here in these pieces. Cass O'Brien's work is usually really focused on the natural textures that we see around us, including leaves, coral, sea anemone, and sea barnacles. This project, she really wanted to mimic the look of rusting, water, and decay, while also the natural shape of the barnacles. Each barnacle is handmade, and she really spent a lot of time on the texture and the colors of the glazing to get it right, to really display that rust that she was going for. And if you want to see more of her work, actually her studio is at Arts Warehouse, Studio 5. Each artist was given a different section of the gallery space, so as you're moving through and viewing each person individually, you're going to get to move from different textures, colors, and feels, and really get a good array of the different ways